Hello and welcome. My name is Dylan, and today we're talking about the exotic quest called Should You Choose to Accept It, Part 1. This quest has 6 steps, and the reward is the Frenzy Refit, or the Feeding Frenzy perk as a catalyst for our Revision 0 exotic pulse rifle. Firstly, to unlock this quest, you have to get to quest step 34 in the More Than a Weapon weekly seasonal quest. Once you do that, of course, you also have to have unlocked the Revision 0 pulse rifle, and after that, we will have access to this quest. So step 1 of the Should You Choose to Accept It quest is to return to the Archimedes Annex and download the Cryptographic Index. So we're going to go to Destinations. On Destinations, we're going to open up the Helm. And in the Helm, we're going to go over to the far right-hand side. And we're going to go down to the Warmind Launch Facility option here. And we're going to go ahead and run this mission. It looks like it wants us to go over to the left-hand side. So we're going to make our way over there. Hide behind these rocks. We're then going to make our way over to this little alcove over here on the left. Once we get inside of here, we're going to go to the next one. We're going to run straight through this one here and then over to the right a little bit. We're going to go in the middle of this one here. We're going to continue forward. We're going to go to the left over here. Go inside of this little alcove here. Kill these cursed thralls that are running around outside of our little cubby. Make sure that you reset your threat detection. So I did find like a hard mode shortcut, but we'll just go the easy way here. So we're going to go left. We can duck underneath these rocks here. And then we're going to run forward under these rocks. Again, reset your timer. We're going to continue forward again here. And we can just go underneath this tower here, and it will no longer be able to hit us. Let's jump down here and head into the facility. Okay, so in this section here, we take out all of the enemies. A Hive Knight is going to spawn. He's going to drop an orb when you take him out. And we take that to this tower right here, and we recharge the power cell. There's the big knight. There's the orb. And here is the power cell. You can place a rally barricade here. And let's continue forward. Three, 2, 1. So it looks like there is a big ogre here. So we can simply get this guy down a bit. Okay, there we go. Just about half health, and he goes immune. So at this point, we will have to kill these Hive Knights, these Wrathborn Knights. Once we do that, we will stand in the little circle that they create. So I'll openly admit for this part, a sword was not the greatest of ideas. But we're just going to get rid of his barrier there. And now we can use other weapons. After you have defeated the ogre, you just finish off the rest of the enemies. Simply pick up the orb that he drops and bring it over here to this power cell. Once we have completed that, it's asking us to restore auxiliary power. So we're going to come over here and we're going to download the cipher. And it looks like that's all we needed to do. So step 2 of Should You Choose to Accept It, Part 1, asks us to travel to Europa for further instructions. So before we even get to Europa, it completes step 2 for us. And so step 3 of Should You Choose to Accept It is to complete patrols on Europa and defeat combatants. So go to any of the 3 major zones on Europa, pull out your ghost, and look for these 2 icons. So look for this one here in the center of my screen. That is a collection patrol. So that essentially means just kill enemies and pick up the items that they drop. And the other of the only 2 patrols that we're going to actually bother doing is this one here, where it's a square or a rhombus essentially, and it has the 4 triangles around it. This is simply a kill patrol, so you just have to kill a particular type of enemy. So I actually didn't even get to the point where I could complete the second patrol, because if you come up to this part, the Eventide Ruins, and then you simply, from where you spawn in, you simply go forward and left over to this area here. There's some like super elite guys with yellow health bars, and I believe that they give a lot of progress. There's a couple of them over there that we can see right there, and there's also a big guy that spawns up here. Step 4 asks us to locate the dead drop in the Perdition Lost sector of Cadmus Ridge and upload the cipher. So we're simply going to fast travel back to the starting point of Europa here, and we're going to head over to this Lost sector. So this is the part where it opens up after the section that you cannot go any other way. We're simply going to follow along this path here, and then we're going to cut across to the right. We're going to go over this little ridge here, past this guy. And it is just over here. We see the symbol right above us. And we're going to head into this section here and complete this Lost sector. So, after we have completed this Lost sector, we defeated the boss. Let's get rid of all these other guys here. Let's loot the end chest. And then let's go over here to the left. And it looks like this is where we're going to enter our cipher. Okay. So the thing blows up and kills you. Perfect. You love to see it. So be careful, I guess. And don't let that thing kill you. All right, so the next part is where it gets a little bit tricky and where a lot of people might not be too happy with this. But the step 5 of should you choose to accept it, part 1, is to complete the Operation Seraph Shield on Legend difficulty and find the weapon schematic. So there's 3 things you can do here. You can either do it with your clan or your friends. You can use the Destiny 2 companion app on your phone, and you can find a fire team that way, which is a very good option. I'm going to go through and do this whole thing on Legend difficulty and see if it is any different than doing it on normal. If it's not, then I'll just link my full guide for the normal version that I've already posted. But if there are different things, then I will go through and make a new guide for the Legend difficulty. And I should very quickly note here, if we go to the helm and we go over to the Operation Seraph's Shield, to launch it on Legend difficulty, you simply click this section here and you can swap it to Legend. It says your radar is off, combatants have more health and are more difficult to stun, heavily shielded and highly aggressive combatants appear in greater numbers, and the activity is at a fixed difficulty. Your effective power is capped at 1580. So I'm not exactly sure why, but so far, the mission has been literally exactly the same with all the traps and everything, the lasers and the puzzles. The only difference has been that the enemies are harder, the turrets are a lot harder to kill. So just take it a little slower with the enemies. But when I completed the Flores Lava puzzle, or I think it's the Scanner Augment puzzle 3 or 4, there was a dead exo right here, and I went over and I used my interact button on the dead exo, and the quest marker popped up. I'll probably have showed that or put it on screen now. But yeah, so make sure that when you do the Flores Lava parts, that you grab this dead Exo here and we continue forward. Be really careful of the enemies. Okay, so I just ran the entire Legend mission on solo, and the only difference, so all of the puzzles and lasers and stuff, all of that is the same. The only difference is the difficulty of the enemies, so definitely play a little bit slower. And the turrets actually deal more damage, and like they take a lot more bullets to kill. So definitely be careful with that. You'll notice that pretty early on. And when you go outside, like for the little spacewalk part after you surrender, the enemies hit really hard out there, so you're probably going to want to swap to a longer range weapon. But I will put on screen now, I will link to my full guide to the Operation Seraph's Shield. So let's complete the mission here by uploading the virus. And we get 2 loot chests at the end here. We got the Hunter's Trace 2. And we ended up getting the mission complete there and actually receiving the catalyst. So if we open up the relic here, we go to Reshape, we go to Pulse Rifles, and we go to Revision 0. So as we see here, we can go over to the empty catalyst slot, and we can put on Feeding Frenzy. So we can equip this. This will masterwork our weapon, and it allows us to have 2 perks. So anyways, guys, I hope this guide was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, everybody.